Hello everyone, I just wanted to make this quick video. This will probably be one of the only videos on this channel, just because I want to spread awareness about my experience with a certain lead generation company called Leadscape. Um, I'm not really expecting anything in return. I just want to let my story be out there pretty much. And just as a disclaimer before I drop everything in my story and my opinions, everything mentioned here is from my experience. I'm not telling you that you should or shouldn't invest in this service. Just telling my side of the story, and you can make your decision based on that. So the total I spent within 2 to 3 months working with Leadscape is around 6,000, and the total return that I got was negative 6,000, so 0% ROI. Also, before we start, I will try not to mention anything that will get me in trouble. Like I said, this is just my experiences, what I've seen, what I've documented, etc. So this is the ads funnel that I was presented with, only for agency owners, online coaches, service, whatever. Guarantee you 10 clients on your highest ticket offer in the next 30 days, completely done for you, or you don't pay. Some of you watching this video might have seen this funnel or something similar, but yeah, they pretty much advertise 10 clients, highest ticket offer in 30 days, done for you, or you don't pay. And you'll see that's a common theme with a lot of agencies that advertise on like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc. They promise 10 clients in the next 30 days. The catch with this agency is that lots of work you have to do before they even launch the ads. For example, you're the one that has to record the creatives. You're the one that has to pretty much get everything set up, create the VSLs, fill out the form of getting to know your company, which that one makes sense. Yes, they need information in order to make the creatives, etc. But you do have to pay extra fees when it comes to hiring someone to make the videos, the VSLs, etc. You have to hire someone, or you could pay someone inside of the Discord in order to do it, which is like 200, 300. So there's a lot of fees that for some reason are not automatically done with the 2,500 upfront fee. For some reason, that's not done. Included that you have to pay for it yourself. So there's a lot of fees, so you have to watch out for that if you plan on moving forward. um Extra services you have to pay for, like Go High Level, which obviously you have to pay for Go High Level. I had Go High Level before this. Calendly, for some reason, I don't know why they make you pay for Calendly. It's a lot less efficient than just using the regular Go High Level calendar, and the SMS and everything is just more money that you have to pay. And then outsource, like I mentioned earlier. You pay people, or you can do it yourself, but likely you don't have a 4K camera to record VSL videos, and you would most likely have to hire one of them to do it for you. So technically speaking, this is not completely done for you, like is mentioned here in the funnel. You still have to do a lot of the work, which will take 2 to 3 weeks. It took me personally 3 weeks to do. And as well, the 10 clients in 30 days offer only applies if you are spending $300 a day on ad spend. Yeah, that's right, $300 a day. Which, if I knew that before signing up, I would not have signed with them, because I can get 10 clients in 30 days with 300 a day ad spend on like the worst ad creatives. Because I have experience, a little experience when it comes to running ads, obviously, and I run my agency, so I have experience with my niche. But I mean, 300 a day will get you more than 10 clients. But the thing is, they don't mention that. They don't mention that in the sales call. They don't mention that in the funnel. And as a matter of fact, when I was in that sales call, um, speaking to the closer, he said, I'm not quoting exactly what he said because I don't really remember, but it was something along these lines. Even if the 30-day period ends and we get you like 8 clients, for example, we still have to give you a full refund because we didn't hit the 10 client mark. And of course, anyone that hears that is, of course, willing to move forward because, hey, like, I'm completely covered. I mean, if they get me like less than 10 clients, I'm still eligible for a refund. But what they don't mention is that you need to spend 300 a day on ad spend, and that's not mentioned until like a day or two before you run ads, which is what happened to me. Like, after all the creatives and systems are all set up, they're like, hey, what's that daily ad budget you're willing to start with? And if you tell them anything less than 300, then they'll be like, yeah, we'll run the ads, and they're fine with it. But then when you mention, hey, so does this still apply that if I get 10 clients in 30 days, I get a full refund? And they're like, no, it only applies if you're spending 300 a day on ad spend. Which, obviously, looking back, with like $50 or $100 a day on ad spend, you're not gonna get 10 clients, but at least, keep it honest in the sales call. That's what I was looking for. And I'll mention it later in the video, but I did speak to other agencies that were offering a service like this, and they just kept it professional. They were like, hey, like straight up, yes, we advertise 10 clients a month, or realistically, like unless you're spending a high amount of ad budget a day, you're not gonna get these results. Leadscape did not mention this in the sales call, and which is why I applied thinking that, hey, I mean, 10 clients every 30 days, that sounds like a steal. Now let's talk about the Discord. There were a lot of members joining often, like almost every day, meaning new clients closed, but you couldn't interact with a lot of them. I tried messaging a lot of them. I got no reply. Like 80% of them were offline the entire time. And of course, there was also barely any client results being posted in the announcements tab, which is where they post the client results. I mean, like there was, for the amount of clients they had, you would assume that there would be a lot more client results being posted, but there's barely like once a month. Now let's actually start talking about my problem with this service. Like I mentioned, I was there around 2 to 3 months. Um, so my problems launched after almost a month of prep, which is fine. You need a prep, get the ad creatives, get the systems built up, get the Calendly set up, go high level, snapshots, etc. But not really, because when they mention that you're getting 10 clients every 30 days, they don't mention that the setup time also counts as the 30 days. So what happened is it took us like 2.5 months to or sorry, 2.5 weeks to set everything up, but I only had a week of ad running runtime before I had to pay another 2,500 to keep the service going, which I think is, if you're striving to actually get your clients results, that should not be something you're doing at all. If you know that your setup system takes multiple weeks, the time period of the setup system should not be included in the 30 days. I don't care what you're running. I don't care if you're running lead agency to helping other lead agencies or whatever. If you're in a certain niche like home improvement or real estate, I don't care. If your setup takes a long time, if it takes longer than a week or two, that should not be included in your 30-day agreement. Unless you're only looking for money and you're not actually looking to help your clients. So anyways, the first 10 days, decent results, but some adjustments needed to be made to the form that they fixed up. Um, there was like some questions that needed to be asked in order for us to qualify them better. A lot of them didn't even know that we're running ads for them. I was in the home improvement niche, by the way. So a lot of them didn't know that we were running ads for them until, like, our service was running ads until we actually got to the calling part. And of course, lots of the leads were unqualified, which is normal, I guess, when running ads. Um, a lot of them didn't even know we were running ads for them. That's our whole service. Like, we're running ads, consulting, scaling them. We've done this in the past. Um, so after I was forced to pay another 1,250 to resume the ads because I didn't have the 2,500. I already spent like 4K. Um, during this moment, I believe it was around 4K. Just with the ads and paying for Leadscape and everything. And zero clients so far, not even close. Um, After I paid the 1,250 to resume the ads, the metrics went downhill. So keep in mind this, I only had a week of running ads because the first like 2 to 3 weeks were spent on setup. So only a week of running ads, and then I had to pay another 1,250, which I could have used to resume the ads. But the founder of Leadscape, which is Jake, he mentioned that, hey, we're gonna pause the ads until you pay us. So even after the 30-day duration, which is what they announced, 10 clients in 30 days, which is the whole promise, like the least you could do to at least help your clients is help them keep the 1,250 instead of paying you to put towards ads. I let them know, like, hey, I let them know since the sales call. I let the guy know, like, hey, I have a limited amount of budget that I want to spend on ads. So I want to make sure that I'm guaranteed a client before then so that I can use the money from the client in order to keep reinvesting into the ads. And the guy said yes. Of course, within the first 1 to 2 weeks, you'll close a client. I was like, all right, since you're that confident and apparently I'm getting my money back, if that's not the case, then I'll sign up. So yeah, metrics went downhill from there. I let the team know multiple times that I was only getting 80% Spanish speakers, meaning all the leads I was getting, 80% of them were only Spanish speakers. To them, like giving them updates every day, like, which I feel like from the beginning in the ads targeting, you're able to change the language from, Spanish speakers to worldwide speakers. I feel like you're able to change that. Anyways, that was already too late because I spent literally all of my budget. At that point, I've spent over like 5.7K, like pretty much my entire budget. So I booked a call with Jake. When I joined, I was told by Jake that he was talking to someone else who had the same issue as me. So I'm not the only one getting screwed over with these ads and these results. He just got off the phone or off a Zoom call with another guy that had the same issue as me. So I let him know I'm pausing the ads because I literally couldn't afford to continue running ads with zero ROI. He told me that I need to get clients on my own first and then we can resume the ads. So he literally failed to take accountability for the faults in his system and his ad targeting, which made me spend thousands of dollars. He failed to acknowledge that making someone pay again, even though you were told that they have a limited budget, he failed to acknowledge that as the problem. And the problem that he blamed me and the other guy he was in a call before with is that we're just not very good with sales, even though the closer and appointment setter that I got were hired from him. Like, he searched for closers and appointment setters, which they're great. It's just the systems that were installed and the ads that were run were not. And other honorable mentions is the whole time a close at all cost mindset was implemented, which opens doors for lying and manipulating the offer. What I mean by that is that this guy had a um very direct mindset, is that every client needed to be closed even if you had to lie to them. Like, I let him know, like when we were building the offer, I let him know, hey, like, this offer is, I'm not sure if I'll be able to maintain that or give the clients that every 30 days if they're spending like 1,500 a month on ad budget. He's like, yeah, that's not the point. The point is that you close them and later on you can tell them, hey, you need to be spending $200 a day on ad spend. I didn't want to do that because that's going against my moral code. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to a potential client being like, yeah, we'll get you five jobs in 30 days or you don't pay. And they sign up and they're like, oh, and I'll let them know like, hey, actually that only applies if you're doing $300 a day on ad spend. Then they'll feel like they'll get cheated. They'll be put in the same situation that I was put in. And I didn't want to do that. But Jake had this mindset that like, you're supposed to close them first and then let them in on the bad news later on when they're a client and they already paid, which I don't think that's a good mindset to have when your whole point of your business is to make a lead agency where you help other people. You can't help other people by deceiving them. And that leads me to believe that, of course, this is all in my opinion. This whole video is in my opinion, my experiences. It leads me to believe that if Jake truly wanted to help his clients scale, he wouldn't push his own clients with these ideals and he wouldn't count the setup as part of the 30 days, etc. So I did notice that a lot of the people that were in there were doing lead agency. So he was doing, so his business is lead agency, helping lead agency businesses. And maybe he's being taught by a lead agency service to do this as well. Like, it's just an endless cycle. Like, it's like the whole, like all of these businesses that sell lead agency all do the same thing. They're all being taught by like the same system. They're all being taught to do the same thing. It's literally just a matter of finding the cheapest offer. That's literally it. And let me tell you, this one's not very cheap. If you're looking for something cheap, this one's not very cheap. In my opinion, if you want to invest in a lead agency, you should go for a cheaper option because at the end of the day, they all sell pretty much the exact same thing. And I've talked with a lot of lead agencies after this, and they all also sell the same thing, just at a cheaper price. So, in my opinion, from what I see, it seems he doesn't care about his clients because they pay either way and cannot request a refund because of the $300 in ad spend a day rule. So, literally, all he's looking for is just clients. And then, sure, I mean, the work that his team puts in is pretty good, like setting everything up, um the ad creatives, everything, the work they do is good, for the most part, of course, except um the targeting for the ads, etc. Like, basically the only memorable pro from his team is that they were good at communicating. Like they communicated with clients a lot. Like if I had a question or something, I would get a reply back pretty quick. And that's like one of the probably only good things in my opinion about the service. So at the end of the day, it is all a marketing gimmick. You know, they promise high results, which is what all of these lead agencies do. So you could sign up and then weeks in, they let you know what's really going on. And at that point, you're already too deep in to like pull out, for example. And I also spoke to other agencies after the incident with Leadscape. I let them know of my experience with Leadscape. And a lot of them were a lot more understanding, like a lot more clear. They didn't push for the sale. They're like, hey, either this works out or this doesn't. And they let me know, like, they also advertised 10 clients in 30 days, but they kept it clear during the call. They mentioned, hey, what's your ad budget? They asked in the call. They're like, what's your ad budget? I let them know, like, hey, I was planning on starting with 50 a day. They're like, yeah, with 50 a day, you're not going to be able, most likely, to get 10 clients a day, just keeping it realistic, et cetera, et cetera. But they let me know, like, hey, there's some workarounds, of course. Once you get those clients in, then we'll start rolling. A lot of them offered literally 250 as a setup fee. Like one agency, for example, that if anyone's interested, they can contact me privately and I'll let you guys know what the agency is. But they only charge 1,000 a month and they do a pay per close offer, which I was completely fine with because obviously I'm only paying when I see results. So yeah, everything was clear. They let me even set up for 250 as a setup fee until they got all the systems built out. And then once I was ready to launch the ads, then I pay the rest. Then the 30 days start. That's how every agency should be running. And I feel this is what this agency is missing. And that's why the results, in my opinion, are not very good. Like I said, I'm not telling you to buy or not buy the service because honestly, it's your money and I don't care what you do with it. But please do research before you invest in something so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Like I mentioned, I mean, this is just like I spent 6K, got nothing back, asked the owner for a refund, didn't provide. We ran in circles for months, still no refund. Like, it's just, like, in my opinion, of course, I wouldn't suggest it, but that's just my opinion. Do your own research.